आपने क्या बोला था? वेलकम बोला था ना?
नहीं, अब ये पहले स्टार्ट करेंगी, जब रोल होगा तो ये स्टार्ट करेंगी, फिर आप ये क्वेश्चंस पूछो। हाँ,
चलो।
हाउ डू यू see that the change of service from the top when you shift from hotel to hospitals?
Shwetamri, when you punch in, when you enter the hospital and you punch in, keep your heart there. Stay here for 10, 11, 12 hours, and on your way back, when you're punching out, collect your heart from there. When you're working at a club, you have to make that impression for rest of their lives. Every day, probably twice a day, serving them the same coffee, same gymnasium, same swimming pool, everything same, and they still should be. We are younger. We don't realize the importance of doing relevant. We want to do more. We serve two. Just let the person be happy. I don't like white bed sheets in my room. I prefer a blue one. Okay, take a blue one. Just be happy. Talk too much about money. It's just about creating experiences, making people happy.
Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Lobby. You are tuning into Suite 003 of our series, where we check into the minds of the hospitality finest leaders. I am your host, Shweta.
And I am your host Gaurav, and today we have the privilege to welcome a person who's actually seen it all, from the grandeur of Taj hotels to India's premier hospitals and now sophisticated lifestyle clubs. Please welcome Shwetambari Kapoor, club head at DLF Club and Hospitality.
And before we dive in, I have to say, Shwetambri, what a career trajectory. Taj Hotels, two major hospitals, and now leading one of the India's most premium lifestyle club. Welcome to Beyond the Lobby.
Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, Gaurav, for having me here on your show. I think you guys are doing a great job. I mean, we've been spending so many years around hotels and different other industries with hospitality. But where do you get a time to narrate your story? I am very, very happy that I'm here today to share what most of the times we just keep it in our heart and just sail through it. So thank you so much for having me here on the show.
Let's start from the beginning. You've spent like almost a decade with Taj Hotels. What is that quality of Taj Hotels that you still carry and you use it you've used it in your current role as well as when you were with healthcare?
Gaurav, I think one thing that Taj has literally put into all of our blood is never saying no. I still remember day one of my exposure in hotels when we were actually taught that you do not say no to anything. And how beautifully we've captured that into our careers, I think is just amazing. And it has actually, helped all of us hoteliers and people who've come out from hotels and they keep their core intact, is that we don't say no to anything. And that's something which I still swear by. We try and do whatever we can to make sure that somebody who's at least in front of us doesn't hear or know. So yeah, I think I take that up my sleeves all the time while I'm at the shop working. Uh,
So, is this the same at home also? Saying no?
Yeah, I think Shweta would agree to that. All of us, all our lovely women around, or even men for that matter of fact. I think the lesser you say no, unless you know it's making somebody happy, makes your life easier, makes your life beautiful, whether it is at work or at home. So, yeah, this
I
is
think
something.
that's the mantra to beautiful life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Unless it is obviously harming your self respect,
Exactly.
try and do things for others, try and make them happy. I think that's the whole purpose of existing around in society.
I
Yes.
agree.
Yes.
Shwetamri, you've been with all the fancy hotels and brands, and then a major shift to the healthcare sector.
Yeah.
Such a different switch
Yes.
in your career. So, what do you say? These healthcare services were looking for a lady who had skills of hospitality, and also share that were you ready to take up challenges, which was completely a new world for you?
Yes. So, Shweta, you know what? I think I'll be really honest here. When I appeared for my first interview coming to healthcare, I wasn't even sure that hospitals had a department called front office. I was heading, front office department at one of the luxury hotels. And it just so happened that because of some family requirement, I had to come back from Bangalore to Gurgaon. And when somebody approached me to join a healthcare facility, I wasn't even sure that there existed a department called front office. So I probably thought they'd take me for admin or something. But when I actually walked into the corridors of a hospital, I realized that what we handle at hotels is probably very, very small in comparison to what hospitals handle or the front office department per se of hospitals handle. So, yes, you're right. I wasn't really ready of what was coming up my way. But then I think we're all trained in a manner where we take each day as it comes. We learn, we exhibit that. And then at some point of time, we're all fighters and then we become aces there, we become the masters of what we are taught. So yes, it was a big shift. But then I'm glad I took that leap. I think hospitals taught me much much wider span than probably hotels could ever teach me. So yes, yes, you're right. I wasn't prepared for it, but I truly enjoyed that time with healthcare.
Very interesting. I got to know that you've also pre-opened a healthcare institute. I mean, I know we all of us would have seen a pre-opening hotel, which is really tough, but a hospital where it is all about life and death pressure. Any one funny mess that you've gone through, or any situation that has come through that you would like to share?
Okay, that is a difficult one, Gaurav. I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't think when you work at a hospital, you get a lot of funny instances to witness.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. There's nothing funny that happens at the hospital. It's all really, really serious stuff. Even if people are getting better, they're being cured. Um, you really can't call those moments funny when you make a mistake or something like that, because mistakes cost lives. It can cost life there. But yeah, if I really have to quote an incident to you, I do remember one of my front desk executives once, very ignorantly swapping the registration numbers of the wife and the husband. And for the next 5 hours while they were getting treated at the hospital, we realized, that the reports changed and everything. All misters became misses, and the wife had to go through some tests. She did not go through that. Husband went through those tests, and only at the time when the husband reached the gynecologist, we realized that okay, we've made a mistake. so, so yeah, I mean, you realize sometimes the whole system becomes so robotic that you really don't pick on these little things, but only when it comes in front of you, right in your faces, you realize, oh, we've made a mistake. So yeah, that's the only funny thing that I could remember. We obviously laugh off at it now, but again, as I said, if you realize these are things which are really serious, and yeah, so that's about it. Yes.
Very interesting. But I'm sure that time would have been very difficult to manage. And if that person, Mr., must have entered into a gynae department and got tested, I wonder what would have happened.
True that.
And yes, as you mentioned, like in hotels, we always talk about wow moments. Yes. And this is one of the SOPs or, a part of training where all the employees are asked to personalize the guest and make their experience wow.
Yes.
But yes, hospital, as you mentioned, that you are with patients and family who are like dealing with them into their emotional side. As I'm sure it's not easy. How do you see that the change of service standards change from the top when you shift from hotel to hospitals?
Mm. So, Shweta, you're right. When we are at hotels, and we'd all agree to this, when we are at hotels, we're probably dealing with just one emotion, which is per se happiness. Okay, everybody checks into a hotel with either a mood of holiday or they have a lovely conference to attend or they're gearing up into their careers and attending meetings and all of that. So at some point in time, they are actually uh, you know climbing up the ladder of emotion. They are kind of going towards some sort of happiness or some sort of success or things like that. If you come to healthcare facility, it's the opposite. Okay, healthcare can be very, very, if I have to say, overwhelming. All right, your work apparently is dynamic, and when I say dynamic, I mean to an extent where uh, probably at 10 o'clock in the morning you're congratulating a young mother who's just had a baby. She's very happy, and at 10 past 10 you are consoling a family who's lost their loved ones. Now, they're a different set of people. They're dealing with their own emotions. You get stuck there. Your emotions are changing every 15 minutes. I've worked at one of the largest healthcare facilities in India with around 500 beds. And even if I had to, on an average, meet 10 families in a day, can understand the kind of emotional deviation that we go through. The switch off and switch ons are so quick that at times when you leave the hospital and when you go home, you probably carry all of that home. Sometimes it's the pain, sometimes it's the irritation, sometimes it's just the mere understanding of the fact that, there are still people struggling to have enough money to get treated. So, I think the whole setup is very, very overwhelming. And I still remember on my day one at the hospital, someone taught me that, Shwetamri, when you punch in, right, when you enter the hospital and you punch in, keep your heart there. Okay. Stay here for 10, 11, 12 hours. And on your way back, when you're punching out, collect your heart from there. Only then you will be able to survive in this industry. Because, as I said, we've always dealt with happy moments, happy people. But when you work at a healthcare facility, you have to keep your emotions in control more than anybody else. And it's not that you want to be hard, it's not that you want to be looking or sounding cruel, but I've realized that the more you control your emotions there, you're able to help those people better. You always do good for them. You always do things which are fair to them. So yes, as hospital employees, I think it's imperative that we keep our heart in control, and we just move forward seeing what is in the best interest of the patient. So that is one thing which changes when you move from hotels to hospitals.
So I think this is the core, I think what you mentioned, most of the employees have to get trained of the switching off and on of the emotions. So, like in hotels, I'm sure hospitals also have their training modules. So, is this thing also taught to them that how they have
Yes, I think nowadays, especially now, so I've worked with hospitals for around 6, 7 years, and now I think healthcare industry is surely looking into, peace training or mind training exercises for their employees. We do a lot of meditation. We do a lot of, scheduling of employees in a way where they're not thrown into deep emotions immediately. We've kind of divided the work. It doesn't happen that one person is the same person who's dealing with the floor that has young mothers or new mothers, and a floor that has your probably cancer patients or ICUs or stuff like that. So we try and segregate people in a way that they're handling at least, if not many, then at least whatever one sort of emotion, and that really helps. We motivate the employees at hospitals to go for workouts, to go for walks, and we try and engage them outside hospitals, which is very, very important. I think that is one thing that healthcare industry does beautifully. They try and create engagement programs outside the premises of hospitals, because how much ever you try to keep them engaged, but they still have to go back to the same place. So it's imperative that you take them out of that premises and do some sort of engagement for them. That really helps. That really helps.
Shwetambri, you've led a front desk at a hospital of more than 75 people, which is like running three front desk at a hotel.
Yeah.
What was much tougher for you? A guest asking for a warm champagne, or somebody who's there in the emergency ward crying for their loved ones?
I think, um, oh God, it's something very simple, Gaurav. What used to be, I mean, all of us have been hoteliers, right? We used to, back in those days, we used to think real complaints are warm coffee or cold coffee served. Real complaints are room not ready when you check in. Real complaints are my laundry is delivered poorly folded. When you enter into healthcare, you realize real complaints are not having a donor who could give blood to you. Real complaints are your patient is waiting in the emergency and needs to be admitted and does not have a bed available. You know, real patients are somebody is almost crying out of blood and the doctor's not available because he's somewhere inside the OT operating somebody else. Those are real problems. So as I said, the industry is very dynamic, and the kind of work that we do, it's far serious than probably what we do at hotels. Not saying that hotels is an easy cake. Okay, it is absolutely not easy. But yeah, if you compare it with healthcare, yes, there's a lot more that happens. So yeah, that's what I think about it.
Shwetambri, now you are a part of a leading lifestyle club and you're managing it all alone. From spa to, gym,
Everything.
events, and, so much, like everything inside. How do you feel? Like, is it like managing, like, how the orchestras are being managed, or is it like you're running after those fancy cats who have paid these membership to you? So,
Yeah.
just talk about it,
I think Shweta, I'd say 80% of what we do at the clubs is similar to what we do at hotels. It's just that at hotels you have to make an impression on somebody for maybe 2 days, 3 days, or maximum a month or something. When you're working at a club, you have to make that impression for rest of their lives. Every day, probably twice a day, serving them the same coffee, same gymnasium, same swimming pool, everything same, and they still should be feeling valued. I think that is the game of keeping calm. That is the game of, consistency. Because at hotels, if we have a very short span of time to impress people, you could do different things. But here you have people who are going to be with you for at least 20, 25 years, and they get their friends around, they get their family around, and there's not much that you can do barring events. I think I think one of the most wonderful things that clubs do is that they create events. I love events. I love events so much because that's the only monotony breaker there. You can create those little wow moments only with the kind of events that you do. And people love that. I think people love going to clubs because you have the musicals happening, you have, your sports things happening, you have fashion shows happening. So I think it's a fun thing. It's always nice. It keeps your core the same, but yeah, you have to keep doing the same thing again and again and again. So yes.
I remember my college days, and a few of the students, they got admission in hospitality thinking that they will get job in hospitals. And after that year, one of my friends checked with me कि ये hospitals का कुछ क्यों नहीं बता रहे हैं,
सिखाते
सिखाते नहीं है.
Yes.
And I was shocked.
Yeah.
So I think as you mentioned that, two worlds are very different.
Absolutely.
But then hospitality obviously is required when we talk about hospitals very much because we are dealing with so many different emotions
Yes.
outside.
Yes.
Shridambari, club members pay a hefty amount and they want perfection. And on the other side, if you go to a hospital, you see scared and needy people. Who is more demanding and why?
Okay. So demanding, Gaurav, I think are people who are coming to hotels or at the club. At a healthcare facility, nobody is demanding. they are into a mode which is requesting. Okay, you never find, I've hardly in my career of 6, 7 years, I think I've hardly found anybody who'd probably raise a voice and say, ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, ये लेकर आओ, वो लेकर आओ. They're always very quiet. They are on requesting mode. They'll run from door to door to figure out that, how can they get help? So I think healthcare is more of requesting than demanding. And we've met so many people, we've met people who are high profile, we've met people who are celebrities, and I have seen that change in their attitude, Probably I don't really want to be naming, but yes, there are celebrities who we've met at a hotel and then also have met while they were at a hospital. As I said, I worked at one of the largest, healthcare facilities. You have to see the change in their attitude because I think the times are such. When your loved one is ailing, when your loved one is in pain, you really don't want to create a lot of fuss. You just want to be nice enough to everybody around so that they are nice to your loved one. And yeah, so I think request is something that happens a lot at hospitals. All the demanding happens at hotels and a lot of it at the clubs. So it is like that.
Coming back to your lifestyle clubs, and one guest, as you mentioned, if you have to maintain that service standard plus the consistency of serving him like every day he's coming. And probably in a day, he enters like almost like 8 departments. He goes to the gym, he goes for food service, spa, and all the facilities which are there. So when one member is actually entering into 8 departments in a day, how do you maintain that consistency in service?
So I think Shweta, it's not very easy, first of all, as I said, you have to be doing the same thing probably every day to the same person who'll probably want to talk about the same profession, the same family, and day in, day out. I think what matters the most is that, you keep all of your areas and your services a 10 on 10. Only then you can skip the drama there.
Hmm.
If a member wants to go to the gym, how much can you do there? You have the same equipment, you have the same trainer, you have probably the same music playing every day. There's not much of a change that you can make there. But what you can do is that give him probably an impeccable space to work out. Your trainers have to be really well spoken, very polite. His music has to be probably just at the right tone when he enters the gym. So I think the only way of keeping your members at the club happy is that give them the same thing, same setting every day, and keep your patience because they'll keep coming to you every day in the evening. So I have people who come to the club every day, and they still want to talk. They want to every day talk about the same thing, talk about the same issues, and you just have to be nice, just have to be talking to them, just have to be at least not showing to them that now you're getting bored or whatever. So one has to just maintain that. It's all about keeping patience. That's the key to the whole thing. Yes.
Hotels, hospitals, club, everybody has their own strict rules. But the magic happens when the staff actually bends them.
Yeah.
How do you manage that club mix? And I mean, how do you let the rules happen on one side and then create that magic?
Right. So rules are important. We always, I think all of us are trained in a way where we say that, don't be people driven, be process driven. If your process is in place, nothing will fail. But I'll tell you honestly, Gaurav, I have always been the rule breaker. Always, ever since I joined the hotels, or it was healthcare or clubs, I always see that, what is it that keeps the person in front of you happy? I mean, it's okay, They say no food allowed in hospital rooms, it's a protocol, it's written, whatever. But we all understand that if you talk to the doctor, he can, out of 10 people, maybe one time or twice, he will give you the green signal to allow home food.
Exactly.
Allow it for people. Let them be happy. Obviously, you have to be very careful that you're not harming somebody in that bargain. But unless you know that somebody's health is not going to be a trouble or somebody's not going to be, really sick, do what you can do. and I've always done that. And I've always had my little ways of getting these little permissions from my seniors. And you just have to have a little bit of good repo, you know. We've all learned, okay, the check-in time is 2 p.m. Okay. But if I have a room available at 10, why should I not give? Ask for it, take permission, make people happy. I think that's the whole idea of all of us being trained for 3 long years to make people's spaces comfortable. So yeah, I think sometimes it's okay to break rules.
I think this comes under exceeding guest expectation, and that's very important when we talk about competition in the industries. And I think this is what makes one property different from the other.
Yeah, it's like simple things, We serve two cookies with a cappuccino. I like to have three of them. Okay, have three of them. I mean, what kind of rule is that? Just let the person be happy. I don't like white bed sheets in my room. I prefer a blue one. Okay, take a blue one. Just be happy. So these are not typically breaking rules, but these are just, making little changes into what you're doing so that you're able to do what you really want to do, which is create experiences. So it's okay.
Shritamri, you spoke about that newness is a challenge because if a member is coming to be, say, set up and facility, how much you can change every day. So definitely newness and giving or exceeding expectation in that type of a format is difficult. I'm sure not easy. And then when you bring in newness, there are budgets which are involved.
Absolutely. And now we are talking, guys.
Yes. So, and I know that you have own budgets in hotels, health services, and now in clubs. And hospitality, they love to talk about numbers, actually, but they don't like low revenue talks.
Yes.
So, how do you manage the accounts? It be happy while you have to give those 5-star vibes. Yes. In the club or maybe in the health services when you were there.
True. So, yes, Shweta, you're right. I think we're all running businesses in whatever aspects, whether it is hotels or your hospitals or the club. These are businesses at the end of the day, and everybody's seeking some sort of margin, some sort of profits when you're running such huge setups. Um, I think there's different way of looking at it in different industries. Okay. Hotels, we all know there's a lot of pressure of creating profits because if you don't make profits, there's no use of doing that business. When you talk about healthcare, again, you can't run such huge setups if you don't have your profits. All right. So that pressure is always there on all of us. When you talk about clubs specifically, we need to understand that clubs are more of experience spaces for people. Now, clubs apparently run with members who are buying huge real estate. So I think this is the only place where I worked and I realized that there's not too much of emphasis on your profits. People really want to just create experiences for their members because the big monies are taken care while people buy their apartments. So typically, I think clubs is one place where we don't really talk too much about monies. It's just about creating experiences, making people happy, giving them a space where they can unwind. But everywhere else, I think, yeah, if you want to run the business, you better make money. That's the rule of the house, right? Yes, so that is it.
Your leadership changed from Taj Desk in 2006 to now a membership club in 2025. How has your style grown? And if you compare yourselves then and now, how would you, I mean, compare that?
That's an interesting one, Gaurav. I think when we are younger, we don't realize the importance of doing relevant. We want to do more. And somehow, I think back in those days, we were taught in a certain manner. We were taught that if you're actually visible for 14 hours, 16 hours inside a hotel, you're a good worker. Okay, as they say कि अरे ये तो कमाल का लड़का है, ये तो बहुत आगे जाएगा, ये कुछ बन जाएगा. और वो बन क्यों जाएगा? क्योंकि वो आपको सुबह भी दिखता है, क्योंकि वो आपको शाम को भी दिखता है, और वो आपको रात को भी probably दिखता है. And apparently all of us have done that. I have also done that. There were days when I used to do morning, afternoon, and night, all shifts. I hardly go home. slowly, gradually in your career, we realize that it's not the act of doing more. The act of doing relevant is more important. So I think as I've grown up in my career, मुझे ये बात समझ में आ गई धीरे धीरे करके कि you don't have to be, be visible around all the time. अगर आपके पास 4 घंटे भी हैं, 6 घंटे भी हैं, और अगर आप रेलेवेंट काम कर रहे हो, तो आप ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट क्रिएट कर रहे हो. अभी आई थिंक द न्यू जनरेशन, उनके साथ एक बहुत बड़ा ये इशू मैंने देखा है. वी kind of hired people who are very very young, 19 year 20 21 years. आप उनका वर्क स्टाइल देखो, वो आपको हर टाइम दिखते रहेंगे. ओके, वो सुबह भी दिखेंगे, वो शाम को भी दिखेंगे, और काम क्या हो रहा होगा वो आपको कभी समझ नहीं आएगा. आप सोचते रह जाओगे कि प्रोडक्टिविटी क्या है. लेकिन हम अब अपने करियर में आकर के इतना मैच्योर हो गए हैं कि हम अगर 6 घंटे 7 घंटे 8 घंटे ही अवेलेबल है, तो भी हम प्रॉबेबली 14 घंटे 15 घंटे का काम वो 8 आवर्स में करना सीख गए. Because we prefer not wasting or whiling time around. We just come to work, we do our real stuff, and then we walk out. आई थिंक एक और रीजन ये भी है कि हमारे ऊपर जिम्मेदारियां ज्यादा आ गई हैं. एवरी टाइम यू लीव ऑफिस, हमको पता है कि घर जाकर बहुत कुछ वेट कर रहा होगा. सो यू कॉन्स्टेंटली और कॉन्शियसली वांट टू यू वांट टू फिनिश योर थिंग एज सून एज यू कैन, सो दैट यू कैन रन अनदर शिफ्ट at home, which is again, and it's not only for women, I think it's for men also. I think people have become conscious now, at least our age. Younger ones still, they want to have their whatever, beer after work and stuff like that. But I think our age has now become quite matured with these things. So I think that is one thing which I've learned in last 18 years of my career. I really wish कि वापस जाकर मैं probably वो 21-year-old श्वेतांबरी को समझा पाऊँ that you don't have to be doing all of this. 20 साल बाद आप कहीं ना कहीं comfortable हो गए, you'll still be working for 9-10 hours, and you'll probably be still making better monies than what you're making right now. And people don't judge you for these things. तो as younger self हमको वो चीज़ें समझ नहीं आती, लेकिन अब समझ में आता है कि just take it easy.
No,
Take it easy. That's
true.
very important.
श्वेतांबरी, आपने अभी जो एग्जाम्पल दिया जहाँ पे एक बंदा 13 घंटे 14 घंटे शिफ्ट करता है, दिखता है इधर उधर, उसे हम होटल में चीता कहते हैं. पर आपने तो हॉस्पिटल्स में भी काम किया है और अभी मेंबर क्लब्स में भी काम कर रहे हैं. तो जैसे हमारे ये स्लैंग्स होते थे होटल्स में, ऐसा कोई स्लैंग इसमें हॉस्पिटल्स में और मेंबर क्लब्स में भी यूज होता है क्या?
मेंबर क्लब्स में तो गौरव, आई थिंक ये जो सारे स्लैंग्स है ना, ये हमने ही बनाए थे होटल्स में, और हम ही इनको बाकी सब जगह लेकर चले गए. सो आई डोंट थिंक हेल्थ केयर में तो बिल्कुल ज्यादा दे डोंट यूज टू मेनी स्लैंग्स, बिकॉज आई सेड दैट इट्स अ वेरी सीरियस सेटअप. बट हम जैसे लोग जो होटल्स छोड़ के जब हेल्थ केयर में गए, तो हमने वहाँ बहुत चीते बनाए. हमने लोगों का कैलिबर जो जैसे भी जज किया करते थे वो करके हमने उनको बताया कि अरे तुम तो चीते हो, you are the one who's kind of running the show around. So हमने उन लोगों, उनके बेचारों के मन में था भी नहीं, पर हमने उनके मन में डाल दिया कि नहीं नहीं तुम तो हो चीते. So yeah, otherwise it's the same thing all across. Doctors obviously how they are. They have no time for any of that happening. But people like us who've come from more fun spaces, we are the ones who've now created that kind of jargons in the healthcare and other
तो
places.
थोड़ा चेक कर लेते हैं होटल्स के जार्गन अभी तक याद है या नहीं.
पूरे याद होंगे.
फल्लू मारना किसे बोलते हैं?
पल्लू मारना, just doing your job, I think very quickly
फल्लू
without.
मार कर आया हूँ मैं.
Oh God, difficult one. टाइम पास करके आया हूँ मैं probably.
एग्जैक्टली.
Yeah,
झटका?
गायब हो जाना
हाँ.
बिना बताए, बिना किसी को
Right.
पता चले. Yes. हमने कभी नहीं मारे लेकिन झटके. I now regret it too much, we were always spreading there. As I said, if I had a chance to go back to my younger self और उसको कुछ बोलना होता तो मैं यही बोलती शायद कि यार 2-4 झटके मार लो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, nothing will change.
बट आपकी शिफ्ट पे रायता तो फैला होगा कभी ना?
अरे रायता बहुत फैलाया भी है, बहुत समेटा भी है. I think यही किया है for last 18 years. That's what we've been doing. कभी हम ही रायता फैला देते हैं, फिर हम ही समेट लेते हैं, कभी दूसरे रायता फैलाते हैं जिसको हम समेटते हैं, कभी हम रायता फैलाते हैं जिसको कोई और समेटता है. सो या दैट्स द फन.
तो कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंट जो आपको याद आ रहा हो जहाँ पर ऐसे ही कोई रायता फैला हो और वो समेटा गया हो?
Oh my God.
Anything which you can recall from
So
hotel?
many of them. I think if probably a week will be less if I start talking about the kind of goof ups that we do when we are younger. I have also done a lot of them. I think, but now when you look back, you just laugh off those things. I remember, um, at when I was getting trained at one of the hotels in Goa, and taking photo IDs was not all that relevant for me. It was taught to us, but इतना पता नहीं था कि इतना सीरियस होता है किसी की फोटो आईडी लेना. एंड कई बारी भूल जाती थी, कई बारी कहीं प्रिंट करके रख दिया, फिर याद नहीं आ रहा, कभी रजिस्ट्रेशन कार्ड के साथ नहीं लगाया. बट एक दिन ऐसा आया जब एक गुफअप हो गया और बहुत डांट पड़ी. और इतनी डांट पड़ी कि उस दिन के बाद से आई टुक अ स्वेयर कि नहीं, अब तो कुछ और हो ना हो, फोटो आईडी के बिना तो श्वेतांबरी कोई चेक इन नहीं लेगी, चाहे जो हो जाए. एंड you will not believe, one of the days I actually asked for a photo ID to one of the ace actresses. And I was so nervous at that point in time that I could not, when she said that I am so and so, I literally had to say that, I don't care who you are, but I still need your photocopy. And your photo ID's photocopy. And within 30 seconds, I had the full band of her security and her managers and everybody running around that, madam, please छोड़ दीजिए, इनको जाने दीजिए, आपको पता है ना ये कौन है. I said, I don't know. अब ये जो भी है, मुझे भी पता है कौन है, बट जब तक मुझे आधार कार्ड नहीं मिलेगा, ये यहाँ से आगे नहीं जा सकते. So, yes, I think a lot of goof ups like that we've done. चाबियां बड़ी इधर से उधर करी है, किसी को किसी रूम में छोड़ दिया, किसी को किसी रूम में छोड़ दिया. But I think, yeah, I think that's how you learn. The more mistakes you made, the more you get polished, and the more you grow in life. And it's always nice if you make new mistakes. है ना? I think that is very important.
डू यू फील जो कॉलेज में, होटल मैनेजमेंट कॉलेज में जो सिखाया जाता है, इन टर्म्स ऑफ सॉफ्ट स्किल्स अगर हम बात करें, तो कितना बेनिफिट होता है उन सॉफ्ट स्किल्स का जब आप एक रियल प्लेटफॉर्म पे काम करते हो? सो कैन यू टॉक अबाउट इट, लाइक मे बी डीलिंग अ सिचुएशन, आपको ऐसा लगा कि हाँ मैंने कॉलेज में कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें करी थी या मुझे किसी सीनियर ने ऐसा बताया था तो मैं उसको वहाँ पे फॉलो या इम्प्लीमेंट कर पाया. सो anything which you can
I think,
relate.
Shweta, you know what? There's only one learning that I've taken out of college. We will all agree to that. Unless you're working in kitchens and, productions, and unless you're working in food and beverage, technically, to whatever we studied in the college is stayed with us only during exams. We will all agree that once we joined hotels or once we joined the shop floor, everything was different. I think the only learning that they taught us at that point in time was stay calm, stay patient. So that is one thing which has helped me, at least, all across my career. Kuch bhi ho jaye, they've always told us that, stay quiet, listen, which is very important. And I think that is something which has helped. Otherwise, I think shop floor teaches you more than what books teach you. That is obviously the real
Right.
thing. Yes. Yes.
Hospitality में work life balance is a joke.
Yes.
With your current role,
Yeah.
which is huge responsibility,
Yeah.
how do you unplug, or your phone is always glued to you?
So Gaurav, if you see my career, I think with hotels, you know how it is. You are never off shift. Okay? Even if you come back home, आपको किसी न किसी चीज के लिए तो फोन आता ही रहेगा. कुछ न कुछ हो रहा होगा कि कोई प्रॉब्लम हो गई होगी तो आपको फोन कॉल्स आते रहेंगे, तो आप सोते ही नहीं हो, आप कभी कट ऑफ कर ही नहीं पाते हो. In healthcare, I think when I moved to healthcare, it was still a little easier bet, because you know that once you're off work, you're off work. You're not disturbed too much. And even if there's an emergency, you have a different set of people to deal with that emergency. With clubs, there are no emergencies, there are no goof ups, but you always you have events happening around. So work life balance जैसी कोई चीज मुझे लगता है कहीं भी कभी भी नहीं होती है. हमें consciously we have to make that effort of taking time for ourselves, taking time for our loved ones, our family, which is definitely something that we need to control. Work will always demand your attention, but we need to figure out what is priority at what point in time. It happens to me, I'm working on Sundays. It happens to me that, I'm hardly at home on Saturday evenings, but then I make up for it. I try that if I'm not available on a Sunday, I take a day off on a weekday, drop my daughter off to the school bus, pick her up from there. And I think when you make those little amendments, it just makes the whole journey easy. So there's in today's time, I don't think there's anything like work life balance. We are all running into a race, but take those little pauses. It's very important that we prioritize, and all of us have lovely homes. It's important to switch off from here and switch on there. I think that is very, very important. So we need to take charge of that completely. We absolutely have to do that. Yes. Yes.
Can you share a wildest request or a guest complaint which you have, handled yourself, and you thought at that moment that, maybe your job is at risk, or you are at the wrong place, wrong time?
Oh God, I face that. I think every once a week, Shweta. Every once a week. In our careers, there are so many times when you feel that why are you even doing this? What is the actual need of doing this? And we've had so many instances. I remember in one of the A profile weddings in Rajasthan, and I had to literally wash the face of the bride because she had mehndi all over her hands. And it was, that one day I still remember, because the moment I left that room, I realized, why did I have to do that? Just because I'm working here, just because I'm a employee at a hotel, do I need to do this? Wash somebody's face? But yeah, I think you just walk out, you crib about it, but then we're trained like that it's okay, no problem. Kaam hai to kaam hai, karna hai to karna hai. So yeah, many of those instances have happened where, and you have to hear a lot of times, गलती कोई और करता है, सुन कोई और रहा होता है. And especially front office, if in front office, the AC is not working, आप सुन रहे होते हो. The food was not good, आप सुन रहे होते हो. Anything that happens around in any of the areas, being front office, you're the one listening to all of that. So that thought comes very, very often. कि, why are we doing it? हम कर क्या रहे हैं? हमारी गलती भी नहीं है. But I think moving on is the beauty of the whole game. So, and we've kind of been trained into it. And we are so happy and so lucky that we've learned the art of it, that it doesn't trouble us a lot. We just think about it 5 minutes and then you're back to the action. So, yeah, I think it happens to everybody. We all feel कि क्यों ही कर रहे हैं? नहीं करना चाहिए.
I think the most important part over a period of time, we need to understand, as you mentioned, that maturity is something which comes with experience. I remember a guest when she was not well, one of the hotels. She asked me to apply Vicks on her back, and I was ready to do that. And showing up, and I was very prompt doing it. She called me almost like every 2 hours. She, in fact, requested to the desk that I want her, in the room. But when I look back, I feel that this could have been avoided, and this could have been, the call must be forwarded to someone who actually specialize in that, and not doing it myself. So I think it happens in all the industry, not only hospitality. We grow with times, we mature every day. Yes. Interesting.
श्वेतांबरी, आपने ड्यूटी मैनेजर रोल तो किया ही होगा होटल्स में. अपनी नाइट शिफ्ट का कोई ऐसा फनी इंसिडेंट जो आज तक याद आता है, और जब भी याद आता है तो हंसी आ जाती है?
अभी मुझे नहीं पता कि हमारा इंटरव्यू कहाँ कहाँ तक पहुंचने वाला है, बट आई जस्ट होप जिनके बारे में बात कर रही हूँ वो कभी भी ये ना देखे, उनको कभी पता नहीं चलना चाहिए that I've actually talked about it. But yes, Gaurav, I think night shifts बड़ी फनी होती थी हमेशा से. छुप छुप के खाना खाते थे, एंड कई बार पीछे बैक एरियाज में पिलोज और ड्यूवेज लगा के सो भी जाते थे। तो वो वक्त ऐसा था। बट इफ यू टॉक अबाउट गेस्ट रिलेटेड इश्यूज, बहुत हुए हैं, बहुत हुए हैं। रात को किसी ने चाबी दे दी एक ऐसे रूम की जहाँ पहले से कोई अंदर है। I still remember, one of, we had a wedding, and immediately after the wedding, the bride and groom were supposed to check in into a room. And one of my cashiers, some of the cousins of these people, they came and they said, कि give us the keys, और हमको decor करना है room में, and हमें, gifts रखने हैं. And poor guy, he handed over the keys to them. And it was such a thing because some of them, they actually hid themselves inside the almirah. एंड व्हेन द पुअर कपल थक के जब वो बेचारे रूम में पहुंचे और अंदर कबर्ड खोला, तो उनके 3 कजन्स एक्चुअली अंदर कबर्ड में बंद थे. नाउ इमेजिन, एवरीबडी लाफ्ड ऑफ, बट व्हाट डिड वी गो थ्रू दैट नाइट. सो या, these things can be funny, but these things can actually be pretty serious. But yeah, I think बहुत funny instances होते रहते थे. आपने, there have been times जब गलत गेस्ट गलत गाड़ी में बैठ के कहीं और ही पहुंच गया. पहुंचना था एयरपोर्ट, पहुंचा दिया कहीं और. ब्रेकफास्ट वेजिटेरियन को नॉन वेजिटेरियन का सामान उठा के दे दिया. सो बहुत सारी चीजें होती थी. बट या, आई थिंक दोज आर द मोमेंट्स दैट मेक यू एंजॉय योर टाइम्स आल्सो एट होटल्स. सो वन वन जस्ट एंजॉयज नाइट शिफ्ट. मुझे तो बड़ी पसंद थी. आई ऑलवेज वांटेड टू डू नाइट शिफ्ट. एज अ यंग ड्यूटी मैनेजर, आई वुड ऑलवेज पिक अप एमओडीज फॉर एवरीबडी, every other HOD in the hotel. So, I used to actually go to them and tell them कि आप अपनी MOD मत करो, मैं कर लेती हूँ. Because it used to be fun. You get to learn, and you were like the kings of the hotel, na? If you're doing a night shift and a duty manager, you take whatever call you want. सुबह वाले आके देखते रहेंगे क्या हुआ क्या है. So yeah, it used to be good fun. My favorite shifts, always night shift. Yes.
श्वेताम्बरी, कोई बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस जो आपने होटल में सीखी हो और वो आपने क्लब में या आपने हेल्थ सर्विस में अप्लाई करी हो?
Actually, a lot of them, Shweta.
Hmm.
I think this is last 5-7 years or last 10 years have been the era of healthcare hiring people from hotels. So we implemented a lot of services that we actually manage at hotels, at healthcare, and at clubs also. So something as simple as how the laundry goes into the room, or do how much do you stay in touch with your guest after they have left your premises. So like at healthcare, we always if you can have that rapport with people who've gone back home after a surgery, or after a difficult illness, you always try and see if you can call them on that day, probably next whatever year, and remind them that we wanted to check on you, or we wanted to see you. Today was the day you fought everything and you went back home safe. So these are the things which typically we do in hotels. We call people for their anniversaries, for their birthdays, but things like these I always try to implement in healthcare, that don't let people just walk out once they walk out. Stay in touch with them. Some sort of message should definitely go that this day is important for you, and we remember that this day is important for you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Shwetambri, कमिंग टू फीडबैक फॉर्म्स, आपने होटल में भी फीडबैक्स लिए होंगे, आपने हॉस्पिटल्स में भी फीडबैक लिए होंगे, और क्लब में तो आते ही रहते हैं फीडबैक्स. तीनों में क्या डिफरेंस है?
तीनों में आई थिंक सबसे जेन्युइन फीडबैक जो मिलता है ना गौरव, वो क्लब्स में मिलता है. दैट इज द मोस्ट जेन्युइन फीडबैक. बिकॉज hotels, I think we all understand hotels feedbacks a lot of times are kind of manipulated. It depends on how much the person is favorite who's taking the feedback. Hospitals, again, I'd say genuine, but the patients always have some sort of pressure on them. That उनके दिमाग में ये चीज रहती है कि अगर हमने कुछ गलत लिख दिया तो हमारे पेशेंट के साथ क्या हो जाएगा, या कहीं ये बुरा तो नहीं मान जाएंगे, कहीं वो नर्सिंग टीम को बुरा तो नहीं, कहीं डॉक्टर तो नहीं नाराज हो जाएगा. तो even there we think that people are a little conscious. I think you get the best of the feedbacks at the clubs because they just write what is in their heart. They don't stop because they know they're going to be there for rest of their lives. So and then we make some great friends with those people. So apparently formality खत्म हो जाती है. Even with the staff, they know that even if we write something which is not correct or whatever, nobody's going to feel bad about it because we're going to coexist in the same space forever. So I think you get the most genuine feedbacks at the member clubs comparing to other two. Yes.
Shwetabri, being a lady, you manage home, you manage your professional life. And there is so much we look forward in terms of commitment at both the sides. So, how do you manage balancing both of them? Because I see a lot of comfort in your voice, speaking about all of those things. So, I'm sure that back end also is quite sorted. So, can you share? Because this would be a great learning for ones who are working in the hospitality industry. And definitely, I mean, everyone looks forward for a proper balancing of life.
So, Shweta, I think I'll really be lying if I say that women can have it all. It's not very easy, because emotionally we are people who are um, who are who are, I think, really matured. We don't take anything for granted. Women are built like that. So, look at the irony of this, that you can't take work for granted and you can't take home also for granted. It's imperative that people who surround us, especially women who are working, are very, very sensitive towards our desire or our aspiration to be moving ahead in our careers. Without that, it becomes very difficult for us to run this race. If we are at work for, say, 12 hours or 10 hours or 14 hours or whatever, or late nights even, I think people back at home are somewhere understanding that we're doing something which is bringing something on the table. That is very important. Once they do that, it gives us a lot of comfort to do what we want to do at work. So, in this race, I think a lot of times we struggle. There's no doubt about it. Children suffer. We all will agree. There are times when they want their moms to be around and we are not there. You have parents who are elders, you're elderly, and they also need you at times, but you are not around. So I think more than what we need to do, it is the setup behind at home that needs adjustment. And I think if one has that kind of support, women excel. I mean, think about it. How about somebody who's not bothered of what needs to be cooked at home, not bothered of what's happening to the laundry, not bothered just because you have a system at home which is running with people around. I mean, think about a life like that. I see a lot of friends of mine and colleagues who constantly, the moment the clock strikes 4 or 5, they'll constantly start calling their maids at home. What needs to be cooked in dinner, या बच्चे कब वापस आ रहे हैं, या बस आई या नहीं आई. और मुश्किल होता है, आसान नहीं है. आप सोच कर देखो कि डिनर में क्या बनना है, कैसे बनना है, या बोर्ड रिव्यू के बीच में किसी को इंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हो. सो आई थिंक इट्स इम्पेरेटिव दैट जब आपकी फैमिली में एक वर्किंग वुमन है और आप देख रहे हो कि वो जेन्युइनली ग्रो करना चाहती है, तो help, assist. I think when they say very easily that when a man becomes independent, he becomes independent. But when a woman becomes independent, they say the next 9 generations become independent. So I think it's imperative that we all support each other. Women should support women. No job is less, whether you're staying at home or you're working in the office. Everybody is running a race, and we should appreciate of what they are doing. And that is very important.
Great. So, Shutambri, it's time for our infamous buzzer round.
Oh, wow.
And
Sounds
we'll
interesting.
have quick answers from you.
Yes.
No overthinking.
Absolutely not.
So, can we start?
Yes.
Tea or coffee to survive morning briefing?
Oh God, chai pe chai pe chai. बिना सोचे.
Most overused word in hospitality?
चीता. भसड़. भसड़ राउंड का भसड़. Yeah.
Hotels or clubs? Which one has more drama?
Hotels.
Hotels. If you weren't in hospitality, what would you be doing?
I would have been a Bharatnatyam dancer. Absolutely. That is one thing which I left behind. So if not a hotelier, 100% Bharatnatyam dancer.
Superb. Favorite perk of being clubhead that you'd never admit in a formal interview?
I get to eat whatever I want to eat at any point in time, you know.
WhatsApp group chats, blessing or curse for operation managers?
Terrible. They should not have it.
Not
We were running better when we didn't have WhatsApp group chats. I don't support it.
Complete this sentence. The guest or member is always right, except when.
Except when we are not right. Technically.
Best career decision you have made.
Tough one, but I moved around whenever I was asked to move around. I think that is one thing I did right.
If you could ban one thing from club operations, what would it be?
People who are not members from entering the club, please, we don't want to entertain them. Either take the membership or don't even show your face. Please go away.
One word to describe your 17-year plus hospitality journey.
Excellent is the word. Excellent. You know, there could have not been anything better than what I underwent. I was so blessed to be trained by the best of the leaders around. So much of empowerment, so much of fun, so many amazing friends who've now become family. And I think I've just gained. Last 17 years have been a blessing. I've really, really been a blessing. I've enjoyed my journey really well. Yes.
Thank you so much, Shwetambri, for sharing insights not only from hotels but from healthcare industry as well as member clubs. It was actually insightful for our audience.
Thank you so much, Shwetambri Kapoor. To our listeners, thank you for joining us in Suite 003. If you enjoyed our conversation, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and wait until we check in our new guest in Suite 004. Until then, keep your service standards high, your coffee strong, and remember, in hospitality, we don't manage operations, we create memories.